In late January 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, embarked on a trek into the Ural Mountains. Their goal was to reach Otorten, a mountain about 10 kilometers north of their starting point. The group consisted mainly of students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. As the expedition progressed, they encountered severe weather conditions, including heavy snowfall and low temperatures. On the night of February 1st, they made camp on the slopes of a mountain known as Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. When the group failed to return as planned, a search and rescue operation was launched. On February 26th, the search team discovered their tent on the slope of Dead Mountain. The tent was torn open from the inside, and all the group's belongings, including shoes and warm clothing, were left behind. Footprints led down to the slope toward a nearby forest, but after 500 meters, the prints disappeared under the snow. The search continued, and over the following weeks, the bodies of the hikers were found under perplexing circumstances. Some were discovered wearing only underwear, despite the freezing temperatures. Others had signs of physical trauma, including fractured skulls and broken ribs. One member was also missing their tongue. The mysterious circumstances surrounding the deaths led to various theories, ranging from natural causes to more outlandish explanations, involving extraterrestrial activity or secret military experiments. The Soviet government conducted an investigation, but ultimately concluded that a compelling natural force was responsible, although the exact nature of this force was not specified. Now, the manner of death these hikers faced is unusual, but there are murmurings about the region being host to odd occurrences. There have been occasional reports of strange lights in the sky over the Ural Mountains. These sightings are often attributed to the atmospheric phenomena or military activity, but some people speculate about extraterrestrial involvement. There are also sporadic reports of unusual sounds, including rumblings, howls, or screams, echoing through the valleys of the Ural Mountains. These sounds are often attributed to natural causes such as shifting ice or rock formations, but they sometimes fuel speculation about paranormal phenomena. The indigenous Mansi people, who have lived in the Ural region for centuries, have folklore and legends that include stories of supernatural beings and mysterious events in the mountains. Some of these stories have contributed to the lore surrounding the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The Ural Mountains are also known for their complex geology, including areas with magnetic anomalies. These anomalies can affect compass readings and may contribute to feelings of disorientation among hikers and explorers. Like many remote and mountainous regions, the Ural Mountains have their share of alleged sightings of cryptids, such as the Yeti or Alma. While these reports are typically anecdotal and lack scientific evidence, they add to the region's mystique. There are also reports of military involvement, such as eyewitness testimony seeing heavy military presence in the vicinity of where the hikers were known to be, as well as the unusual aircraft seen in the days leading up to and after the hikers' disappearance. Some also feel that since low levels of radiation was found on some hikers' clothing, that they could have stumbled on a military testing site, leaving the military no other choice but to take action, leading to theories of a military cover-up. While the military involvement theory is intriguing, it lacks concrete evidence and relies heavily on speculation. As with many aspects of the Dyatlov Pass incident, the military involvement theory adds another layer of mystery to an already baffling case. If we disregard the paranormal or cover-up theories, there are plausible explanations rooted in actual cases that could shed light on the mystery. For instance, some hikers were discovered in only their undergarments in an frigid environment, suggesting a phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing. In cases of severe hypothermia, individuals will strip off their clothing because their minds misinterpret the cold as heat, compelling them to remove layers in an attempt to cool down. Some hikers were away from their tents, which looked like they tried to escape, but could have also been explained by infrasound. Infrasound is a low frequency, usually undetectable to the human ear, but can cause fear, paranoia, as well as anxiety, unease, and panic in people. Infrasound, if amplified through a mountain range, could be detectable by the human ear, possibly. Another widely thought out theory was the hikers could have gotten into a disagreement, which could have been caused by the stress of the expedition. This could have led to tension amongst the group and led to a conflict that ended in a breakdown, causing some hikers to abandon the group. And lastly, the most common theory of this could have been caused by an avalanche. The hikers could have heard the rumblings of an avalanche, and in a panic to escape, they could have cut their tents in order to try and outrun or escape their fate by running from the campsite. Unfortunately, that would lead to them being underdressed and then succumbing to the elements, which explains why later on the bodies are found in their underwear and a generally decent distance away from camp. These theories are based on scientific principles and observable phenomenon, providing more plausible explanations for the events of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. However, the exact sequence of events and the circumstances surrounding the hikers' deaths remain shrouded in mystery, leaving room for continued speculation and investigation. I guess if I was to add my take onto this, I would think the most logical choice, if not from the elements, is the human side. So it could have been a conflict that led to the group splintering, but in my honest opinion, I don't believe that is correct and doesn't feel right to me. So then you have to take a look at the other human element, and that is of the Mansi people. The Mansi people, an ethnic group of natives in the Urals, like many other indigenous communities, could have had sacred lands and artifacts. It's plausible that the hikers stumbled upon these sites, perhaps disrespecting them or even pilfering artifacts, provoking the Mansi people to retaliate. The attack could have been swift and stealthy, occurring under the cover of night, catching the hikers off guard. Some might have managed to escape by freeing themselves from their tent and running into the wild, then succumbing to the elements. That would make the most sense on why the tents were cut from the inside and why somebody would flee in the middle of the night in their underwear, because you might have a better chance of surviving if you can get help, but staying in your tent is probably going to lead to your death. But in the end, there is no actual factual evidence to back up my claim. So in the decades since the incident, numerous theories have been proposed to explain what happened to the Dyatlov group. Some suggest an avalanche or sudden weather event, while others point to a confrontation with indigenous Mansi people, or even infrasound-induced panic. However, none of these theories fully explain all the details of the case, and the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains as one of the most baffling mysteries in modern history. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. To stay updated with future content, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave me a comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.